Super diseases are coming. This report in The Atlantic addresses this powerfully. Hello, my name is Wallace Smith, and welcome to another Tomorrow's World webcast. This article in The Atlantic from January 12, 2017 should be read by all of us, certainly should be paid attention to. The title is Resistance to the Antibiotic of Last Resort is Silently Spreading. The subtitle says, just over a year after they were discovered in China, bacteria that can fend off colistin are being found all across the world. Now let me summarize the circumstance we're talking about. If you've been keeping track in the news, or if you've been reading the Tomorrow's World magazine, because we talk about this, certain bacteria are growing resistant to almost all of our antibiotics. And if you don't understand what a big deal that is, just look through history. Take a look at the state of populations and what diseases would do to populations back before the discovery of antibiotics. We don't understand how crucial antibiotics are to life today and how much we depend on them fending off diseases. Without good antibiotics, sometimes even a small cut can be life-threatening in case it gets an infection. So anyway, we have these bacteria that are resisting almost all of our antibiotics, and where in some cases there's only one antibiotic left to control and to fight back these bacteria. Well, let's jump into this news today. This says in the Atlantic article, the alarm bells sounded on November 18, 2015. Antibiotic resistance is usually a slow-moving crisis, one of the reasons its danger can be hard to convey. One by one over the years, the drugs used to fight the most stubborn infections have fallen by the wayside as bacteria have evolved resistance to them. For certain infections, the only drug left is colistin. Then, on November 18, 2015, scientists published a report in the British medical journal, The Lancet. A single, easily spreadable gene makes the bacteria that carry it resistant to colistin, our antibiotic of last resort. That is huge news. They talk about the origin of the gene and where they found it, and it seems to have originated out of pig farms in China. Another reason we shouldn't be farming pigs to eat them. It's an unclean animal. We have a lot of material about that on Tomorrow's World on our website and our magazine. But let me just jump ahead to what it's talking about. The gene here is MCR1. That's what they've called it. It wasn't born with that name from its mommy and daddy. They've called the gene MCR1. And thankfully, they point out that the bacteria in which they find the gene currently do respond to other lower level antibiotics. The problem is the gene is easily spread. And if a bacteria that doesn't have this gene suddenly acquires this gene, and it's a bacteria that's already resistant to all of the other drugs, suddenly it becomes a super bacteria, what they call a pan-resistant bacteria that we will not be able to fight against. They say this is a huge deal. They've already found this gene in a number of countries: Denmark, Germany, Vietnam, Spain, and the United States. Before that, by the time they figured out this gene even existed, it's already spread all over the world. There's actually a very telling comment that I thought was very well made by Timothy Walsh. He's a microbiologist with Cardiff University, and he pointed out that even though we haven't found this gene amongst these bacteria that are super resistant already, he says it's not a case of if, it's a case of when. In other words, it is only a matter of time before these super resistant bacteria gain this final gene to where nothing can address them. No antibiotic that we have can stop the spread of this particular bacteria. This is a big deal. Now, we've reported on this before in Tomorrow's World. In fact, you can go to our website at tomorrowsworld.org and type in the search box, which I bet is being illustrated for you right now on the screen. Go to the search box and type superbugs, one word. You will find a great article titled Superbugs, The End of the Antibiotic Era by John Meekin. Read that. We were talking about it then. It is still happening and is happening today. Now, this is recent news, but it's not truly a surprise to anyone who keeps track of Bible prophecy and who studies it. Why? Because Jesus Christ himself in Matthew 24 and Luke 21, other places in the Bible, talk about coming pestilences that mankind will not be able to stop, diseases that will ravage humanity. If you understand prophecy, you know these things are coming, and stuff like this may not be news, but it has been foretold. I appreciate this guy's comment, warning all of us, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But those who study Bible prophecy already knew that because Jesus Christ said so. You know, we actually have a booklet titled, Does God Heal Today? And I'd recommend our readers take a look at that, our viewers take a look at that, because there's coming a time when the only source of healing for diseases will be the intervention of God. Thanks a lot for watching. Please check out everything we have available at tomorrowsworld.org.